Interestingly, though, it's the Conservatives who appear to have picked up on this sort of voter disenchantment, yet they are often the party associated most with, quote unquote, the establishment. Why do you think it is the Conservatives who tend to benefit most from this?
Well, I think what's happened over the last few months now is that UKIP are disassembling, really, and some of the rhetoric has been quite disgusting from that point of view. But people still harbour those sort of views, but find that the hard Brexit leaning intentions of the Conservatives are more palatable. So I think even former Labour voters who became UKIP or became Brexit voters temporarily last year have now decided, yeah, we will stick with that, but they will soften their stance, but not vote UKIP. They've deserted UKIP now as well and have gone to the Conservative Party. So I think we're seeing that gradual transition. But in Wales, that is not going to help us because the conditions here are different. Like I said, 200,000 Welsh jobs are dependent on our membership of the single market. We are a net beneficiary of European funding. None of that has come through in the sort of widespread media coverage that we've had. Blankets, wall-to-wall stuff, usually in a London-initiated press, takes very little attention of the needs and concerns of Wales, particularly when it comes to this European funding issue.
Well, with this Conservative government seemingly going further towards the hard right and a hard Brexit, do you feel this will offer up opportunities for Plaid Cymru looking forward to ask for more in terms of devolution, as perhaps the Welsh people become maybe more dissatisfied with a more right-wing central London government?
I think it can, because we're going to be faced with hard choices over the next couple of years now. I mean, following Brexit and following, obviously, events happening or potentially happening in Scotland, the situation with Northern Ireland is very difficult, particularly as regards whether there's going to be a hard border between the north of Ireland and the south, let alone what is happening with the Northern Ireland Assembly at the moment, which in terms is not very much. So people are increasingly talking about this entity that's going to be left is going to be England and Wales, the Brexit, the leave voting part of these islands. And that is a genuine concern about the very viability and identity of Wales now, because we are likely to be lumped together with our far larger neighbour in England, which is overwhelmingly Conservative. I mean, what was obvious from last week's local election results was that the Conservatives won 65% of the available seats at local level last week. 65% of the seats that they could win, they did win. Whereas in Wales, they only won 15% of the available seats at local level. Yes, there was a bit of a surge for the Conservatives, but nothing in comparison to what was happening in England. But the whole issue represents a challenge to us in terms of the whole identity and the prospects for actual devolution here in Wales. If people are once again going to say, like they used to say about 50 years ago before we had devolution, for Wales, see England.